Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to go ahead and look at grammar lesson M today. I've been trying to record this lesson for a while, but Mr. McMillan keeps interrupting me with Star Wars music. I think if we hear Star Wars music, I'm just going to keep teaching, so let's go with it today. So what we're looking at today are commonly confused words. We've already talked about some commonly confused words with pronouns, with who versus whom. Today we're going to look at some other commonly confused words, so that way we are using the correct words in the correct situations. So let's first look at accept versus accept. We have accept with an A, and we have accept with an E. And they mean different things. Accept with an A is a verb. It means to receive willingly. So I accept the punishment. I was accepted into college. So that would be to receive willingly, and we use the accept with an A. Then we have accept with an E, and it's a preposition. So pay attention to that part of speech because it is important. And it means but, or with the exception of. So everyone will attend the party except me. So everyone will attend with the exception of me. So that's the difference between those two. Then we have, and this one I think is very often confused, effect with an A versus effect with an E. So effect with an A is a verb. It means to produce change. Okay, so if you're using effect as a verb, use the one with the A. So completing your homework will directly affect how well you do on the exam. True story. So please make sure you study for AP because it will help your grade. Studying affects your grade. So effect with an E is used as a noun, and it means a result. So completing your homework will have a desirable effect. You will like the result. And again, it's a true story. Students that do their homework do better on tests, and they have higher grades. All right, then we have fewer versus less. And these are used incorrectly all the time. And after this lesson, when you see them used incorrectly, it will drive you crazy. So the word fewer means a smaller number that you can count. I have fewer songs on my iPod than you. The word less means a smaller amount that you cannot count. I have less homework than you. So this is where it drives me crazy. You go to the grocery and it says 15 items or less. Yet that's a smaller amount that we can count. So grammatically, that should say 15 items or fewer. Kroger, you're wrong. All right, next we have good versus well. Good is an adjective meaning having the proper qualities. So she has good reading skills. So if you're describing a noun, you use good because it's an adjective. If you are describing typically an adverb, an action, then you use well. So, and it can be used as an adjective or an adverb, meaning excellently or properly done. So she ran the race well. There, well is describing how she ran. It is an adverb. All right, we also have elicit versus illicit. So elicit with an E versus elicit with an I. Elicit with an E is a verb, meaning to bring out or evoke. The reporter could not elicit the true story. Elicit with an I is an adjective meaning unlawful. I found illicit content in your web browsing history. Then we have then versus than. Then with an E is an adverb denoting time. He passed the AP exam, then he received college credits. Again, true story. Than is a conjunction used in comparison. Sorry, I like him more than you. All right, so if we're looking at some examples of this, let's look at these sentences. Nick decided to accept the job offer. Well, he wants to receive it willingly, so we would use accept with an A. Except, so in exception to, he did not like his new supervisor. All right. Oops, I just messed that up. Hold on just a second, ladies and gentlemen. Our next example, we're looking at effect versus effect. So your attitude will, and we're using a verb here, so we're going to use effect with an A. How well you do. In other words, your attitude and school have a cause and effect relationship with me. All right, our next example, your essay should have no. If we can count it, then we use fewer. So your essay should have no fewer than 500 words. This assignment has less research required in future papers. We can't count that, so we would use less. I do not feel, we're talking about how we feel. So we're using this as an adverb, so we're going to use well. I do not feel well. That I need to attend school to get we're describing a grade, it's an adjective, to feel good, or to get a good grade. The cop tried to, and he's trying to get the story from the witness, so elicit with an E. The cop tried to elicit the story from the witness about the illicit with an I, drug trafficking, because that's unlawful. 6, and I should have updated this is about a former student, but Desmond thinks he works harder. Okay, we would use than, because he's comparing himself, anyone else. He will study, then with an E, he will pass the unit exam. We'll look at this more in depth in class. Please let us know what questions you have, but we want to make sure we start using these commonly confused words correctly.